Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the review. Today we're going to talk about the ThreeZero Evangelion Unit Test Type-01. Ah, man. I guess this is like the year for Avas because I don't think that I've gotten like a bad Ava this year. Everyone's been different, but they've all been fun in a different way. ThreeZero's take on Ava is more of the anime look with a really accurate mechanical design, but they added a bunch of diecast that I don't know the thing. I think the only thing missing from this would be a really cool AT field that they didn't include. But I gotta say, everything else on this is really nice. Chamba, if you're watching, I'm sorry in advance because you'll probably end up getting this, both you and Mario. But I gotta say, this Ava is pretty dope. It is going to be smaller than the Dyna Action, and it's going to be a little bit bigger than that of the metal build. Unfortunately, I do not have a metal build to put one size-wise in comparison to it, so I'm sorry in advance for that. So you have to trust my word on it because I've seen my friend's metal build, but I couldn't borrow it in time for this video. That's why I held out for so long. But yeah, let's jump into it and let's talk about it. The Evangelion 01 to test type. Now, what's crazy about this is I was like telling myself, again, shout out to ThreeZero, but I was telling myself no more Avas because I have plenty of Avas. But I was a sucker for this one because while the metal build is more stylized, this reminds me of the old animation style. And that's something I'm kind of a sucker for right now in nostalgia. You know what I mean? But articulation wise, we get something really nice here. We get a nice blend of what it's like with diecast, like lots of diecast because he is very bottom heavy, and a mix and blend of articulation. So our shoulders, they move on a ball joint on the back of the arm. As you can see, these can fold out and downward, looking really cool. Hopefully they don't hinder too much. In my experience so far, that has not been the case. But because of all the die cast, the joints are all very tight, which makes it sometimes very difficult to want to play with this because I'm considering it not to be fragile, but if I apply way too much force, I'm going to hurt or break something. So that's something that I do actually worry about, and it is a viable concern that I have. Because the Ava has these butterfly joints that to this day, even I have been scared to move. But overall, it's been really fun and really nice. So what I am going to do is I'm going to try on camera with you guys to try to move that butterfly joint. And as you can see here, it can move. There we go. I want to make sure you guys can see that while I focus on it. There we go. You can see that butterfly joint move, but it is very tough. And it's something that's given me a little bit of trouble. So I was worried about it on camera, but now that I've moved it, I feel a lot better because I want to make sure I can show you guys everything. Our head sculpt is actually really nice as well too. Let's turn up and zoom in on that bad boy very quickly. And as you can see, this is a really nice sculpt with the Ava 01 sculpt. Our mouth does open too. So you have that. Our articulation is going to be limited in the head to just left and right. Going up and down is not going to be an issue too much because you can actually press down on the neck. It's going to actually, let's pop the head off. I'm going to apply some pressure towards that neck. Like I said, these die-cast joints make it a little rough, but as you can see here, you can actually just bring that neck down just a little bit to add that extra bit of oomph and articulation to it. Popping the head back on. As you can see here, it does make quite a bit of difference in terms of articulation. So movement wise, you know what you're getting here. So you're going to get left and right, and our neck can flow up and down. With the combination of those two, you should get some nice articulation. As far as our arms go, let's back up a little bit. Even with our pieces here that rotate over on the arm, we can definitely hit a T-pose by rotating these all the way up and through. Just being a little bit careful as you get closer to the top. And as you can see here, Ava can hit the pose. You're going to have a nice little secret bicep swivel here in the arm. It is there, trust me. Again, you'll have to rotate, as you can see here. But you will get bicep swivel. Our arms are double jointed, as they can rotate up. I'm going to back up just a little bit and slow down some for you guys. There we go. We're going to slide down a bit. And we're going to talk about our chest articulation as we rotate side to side. We cannot go backwards at all. That's not going to happen. But you do get a nice forward movement in terms of ab crunch. Right? And you can twist. so you can rotate left and right. One thing I've noticed that's been really cool is this back design. That whole spinal design has been recreated meticulously through ThreeZero, looking really good. One thing I've also loved, and I did this on a live unboxing with toying around and some guys. It was Prime, it was Mario, and High School Creations, and we'll see here that we actually get really nice balance on this guy. So our legs can go outward only about this far because we're going to have this design get in the way. But if we rotate our leg a little bit forward, we do get a little bit more articulation. But we do get oh, and I plugged that out. So that's my fault, y'all. I forgot to plug that back in. There we go. My fault, y'all. But as you can see here, getting this type of articulation will not be a problem in terms of the knees. Our foot can go backwards and forwards, and we do have a toe pivot. The shin guard will adjust accordingly. It's on a ball joint. So as you can see here, I'm getting a little rough with it, and this is what I was worried about. But it seems to be withstanding all of my my physical strength test. So when I say this thing is durable, it's definitely proving that it is in every which way. And I like that. We also get really nice ankle pivot going inward and outward. But if you want to test balance on this guy, like honestly, if we're going to do the can he hold his own leg test, which I'm pretty sure if you saw the live, you saw that it could do that. And this is what I was talking about. I don't mind these coming out. Quick tangent. I don't mind these popping out because I would rather these pop out than for me to break them because of all the die cast that's on this figure. You know what I mean? And as you can see here, it's holding up pretty well despite the fact that there's tons of die cast on this. And even now, as I sit here and test this, if it can hold its own leg in a really weird way as he wobbles. But yeah, he should be able to hold up. And yeah, my hands are free. And you can see that the Ava is clearly holding up on its own weight with all that die cast. I know this is really wacky pose, but this is the kind of stuff that I enjoy because if you want to test the limits of your figures but be able to enjoy them, see how they actually respond in real life situations, this is actually a really good test. Because even now, I like to test out stuff like this so we can see if our Ava can hit really low poses, which I'm proving right now. So let's drop down. And these are kind of important stuff for people that they want to test out with their Avas. I know a lot of people, at least my friends will. KO, if you're watching, I hope you're proud. But yeah. So as you can see here, Ava can get dynamic, Ava can get low, Ava can hold under its weight. If these are questions that you were asking about the ThreeZero stuff and whether or not it'd be good, I think I've covered just about all of that, which is pretty awesome. No lie. But real quick, we're going to talk about some functions and some accessories. So let's take a quick break and jump to it. Alright, now I left Ava like this because I do want to talk about one of its cool features by tucking the neck back in and raising this out, because you can actually put the tubing in here. So you'll get two. Oh, I zoomed in a little too far. There we go. And as you can see here, we have an opening here that's going to be for our tubing, which is pretty dope. It opens up and you'll get two of the capsules. Obviously, this is going to be for when the small characters are in there, our human characters, aka Shinji. There we go. And you get a small one and a short one. If you want to just pop them in, they actually do fit in there, as you can see. So yeah, it does fit in there, right here. If you want to take it out, just remove it. If you put the short one in there, may take a little bit of extra effort. You might want to use some tweezers. But yeah, you can just close that up by just shifting that back down. And then you are back in work with the Ava. As far as the rest of our accessories for Ava, let's actually move you off to the side. We're going to get our extra head sculpt for when it goes berserk. This head sculpt is awesome. The mouth stays open, the eyes change color, the gritting crazy teeth. This looks really, really dope. So this is, like I said, this is one of those things where if you're just missing the AT field, you kind of know what you're missing out on here. Because it's like, oh, I know what I'm getting with this, you know? I will say, be careful with these. You can actually remove them. If you feel like they're going to be damaged in any sort of way, you can remove these as well. But I'm going to leave mine popped in here, because I don't want to cause no smoke. We will also get our pallet rifle. There we go. Here we go. Pallet rifle. There are dedicated hands for this. I'll show you that in a second. If you have cool effects, just know that you can just pop some effects in there. I think they'll fit out pretty well. I'm going to test it actually for photos. You will get options for the plug, the smart plug. This is a bendable wire. I shouldn't have bent that because I never get it back properly straight. But yeah, this will attach to either end with no problem. You just plug it in. And you can plug it into the back of the Ava via the port piece here. And because it's wired, it actually holds pretty well. So if you want to do the crazy witch whack swinging in the wind, this will not be an issue whatsoever. It actually holds really, really well. If you're seeing it here. There we go. And this is completely wired and holding out well. You will get your tactical knife as well too. Oh, let's move Ava over. Keep forgetting about that focus thing. But you will get a tactical knife. If I can ever get the focus back there. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh. There we go. Being odd for a second. But here we are with our tactical knife. This is it in the straight form before you move it from the shoulder armor. And you will get an optionable swapping pallet piece. This is going to be for the left shoulder. It actually slides out. It doesn't fold all the way out, but it does give you the option of folding completely like this and folding about 3/4. And that is for sliding the piece in. Looking really good. You'll also get a plug piece attachment to further with your stand, so you can have it attached to the stand. I don't really talk about stands, so sorry about that in advance. And as far as our hands go, we have open action hands. The only thing they don't give you is going to be running hands, which I think is a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. Then we have our closed fist. Like I said, we have our pallet rifle hands. And then you have your one right hand for the tactical knife, for holding it either the right side up or reverse stance. Now, in terms of Ava, though, this has been a really fun but out of my element review. I won't lie. Like, it's been one of those things where it's like, I'm so scared of diecast. Between him and Prime, I've been having a good time noticing that ThreeZero makes some sturdy stuff, man. Like, it's meant for people like me who are going to either manhandle or really play with their toys. And that's kind of been the really crazy fun of it. Now, we're going to jump into the next part because I don't have much to compare for this Ava, but I'm gonna throw in a few things, show you guys what I got going on. All right, size comparison time, and I don't have much for this Ava, can't front, but I do have the ThreeZero pat label, the unit 2 or 3, depending on how you configure it, right? And as you can see, he is still tiny compared to the Ava, which kind of is a bummer, but they fit pretty well anyway, in my opinion. Like, you can go ham in these streets. Here we are with a 160DX Macross, the YF19. Personal favorite of mine, right? Here he is next to my MG RX78, which has been collecting dust for some time. And as you can see, the Ava has some height over some stuff, because this is only 1/100 scale, whereas this is 1/60 of scale. But if my plane was obviously 1/100 scale, it'd be tiny compared to these guys, right? So the scaling is all over the place, and I can't really say what's what, but I will say this: the Ava looks good regardless. Here we are with ThreeZero's Optimus Prime that you've seen probably first if you watched the Optimus Prime review, but if not, here you are, right? Last but not least, I think for fun, I'm going to throw in the Dyna Action Ava, so we can see that, you know, just how big one is compared to another. And this is the Dyna Action Ava just standing up next to what would be technically his little brother, I guess, at this point. So yeah, don't speak to me or my little brother ever again. With that being said, I hope that you guys truly did enjoy this video. Something that's different, something a little out of my element. Shout out to ThreeZero, shout out to Diamond. Thank you guys so much. And as always, please be good, do do good, drink your water, guys. Later. Hey guys, one thing I want to add at the end of the video, because I was working on this photo set, and throughout me playing with the figure, I've had a fantastic time. But I ended up having one major gripe, and that's going to be with swapping out your hands on your Ava. One of the issues that I've had is that it's very difficult to pop out the joints, and I wanted to add this in at the end. I'm just going to mess up my display in the meantime. Is that when I attempt to change the hand, I'm going to take the whole arm off. But when I attempt to, there we go, well, for the most part, when you go and you actually try to change out this joint right here, one of the issues that I face is that lining up the ball joint. Now, to swap out this ball joint, what I've had to do is I've had to actually heat it up and take it out if I want to swap hands. That gets time consuming, but I understand because it actually does hold the hand joint in really, really well. But it will get frustrating over time, and that's probably my one major gripe that I've really got with this figure. So I wanted to make sure I added this in at the end. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying the display. Here's a sneak peek before we even get at the pics. Yeah. And thanks as always for enjoying. Be good, do good, drink your water.